Welcome back to Stories from the River. I'm your guest host today, Tyler Trill, Senior Communications Manager here at Broad River Retail. And today my guest is normally the host here on Stories from the River, Charlie Malouf. Charlie, thanks for joining me. We're going to go through this week's town hall, our annual Holly Jolly Holiday Town Hall. And we're going to cover some big topics that we just presented to our memory makers. So let's get into it. Welcome to Stories from the River, a show in which we go behind the scenes at Broad River Retail.
Hey Tyler, it's good to see you. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Got a little bit of green on there, so you can see I came dressed for the occasion. How are my glasses looking, Tyler?
You're looking great today. I love the hat. I love the antlers. I'm not as festive as you are, unfortunately. I was just telling Marina, I don't own a lot of red, so we do have a little green. I look like a Green Bay Packer this morning, but I love what you got going on here. What are your big holiday plans that you got coming up here as we head into kind of the Christmas break?
Yeah, well, isn't it a great time of season, Tyler, to talk about getting to rest some? And by the way, Marina is our producer off screen, so she's done a great job. We're here on episode 336 here, 336 episodes, wrapping up our fourth season, Tyler. And by the way, these were just delivered. I think my wife had them delivered via DoorDash. She said, Charlie, you got to give me a little bit more notice. And so it's been a busy month, Tyler. It's been a busy season. So I've got some other props, and we were kind of choosing which ones to go with. These antlers, this hat. But went with these glasses, this one, and got this. What you can't see here, Tyler, is, so it's red, but this is a red Ole Miss pullover. And I believe you're a sports fan. And so you asked me, you asked me what I'm doing for Christmas. And so, I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. I grew up an Ole Miss fan. And Ole Miss had our head coach leave us, but we are in the college football playoffs, and we're not going to let that steal our joy. And so for the first time ever, we're in the college football playoffs. So I am taking the family back home to Mississippi to visit my mom, my brothers, cousins, uncles, aunts, family, and spend a few days there. And while we're there, we're going to drive from Jackson to Oxford. It's about a little bit over 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 2 hours 15, depending on the traffic. And I got tickets. It's a good starting time, Tyler. It starts at 2:30 Central. And so we're going to the college football playoffs, the first ever college football playoff game hosted in the state of Mississippi against a team, Tulane, who we defeated 45-10 earlier this year. And so we will see how it goes. So that's on my agenda. What about you? What you got planned for the break?
Before I get into that, I want to get your assessment of the game. Tell me about the Grove and what is the college football atmosphere like at that stadium? I've never been.
Listen, it's electric. It's exciting. I took my boys and Kelly to a game earlier this year to see Arkansas. It was hot. It was in September. It was like 94 degrees during the day. So the Grove was a little bit sticky, a little bit humid, a little bit hot. It's not always like that. But it was an exciting game. And it was actually a very close game. The thing about the Grove, and if you've never tailgated for a college football game, it's like a big bowl. And now it's so sophisticated. You hire companies to go set up. They open it at a certain time, maybe on Friday night or something, and you set up your tailgating table, and you got flat screen televisions. You might have lights and chandeliers and your tent and a bunch of food. But they're all bumper to bumper to bumper. So it's like you're walking through like alleys, and there's just like doom 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 doom. Thousands of people's tailgates are set up, and it's not just now in the Grove or the Bowl. It has spilled out across the rest of the kind of area there. But it's kind of a short walk from the Grove to the stadium, maybe half a mile, maybe a little bit less. And so you tailgate, you hang out in the Grove, and then as game time approaches, you then kind of start making your way with the crowds to the stadium. And then the stadium, they do such a good job with the kind of the excitement, the lights, and the music. So it is a really cool experience. Now, Ole Miss doesn't have one of the largest stadiums in the country. It's not like the Big House in Michigan or Tennessee or LSU or maybe Alabama's. There's some stadiums that hold 100,000 folks, but I mean, they'll hold 68,000 people, and it's packed and it's loud. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Well, that's awesome. I'm pulling for you guys, the Pete Golding area, kicking it off, and
That's right.
I'm hoping you get to see a win out there with your Rebels. For me, I'm headed up to DC, the DC area, Maryland specifically. That's where my sister and brother-in-law live. So my parents will drive down from Ohio. I'll drive up here from Charlotte, and the five of us will have Christmas Eve and Christmas together. It's always great. There's only about 2 or 3 times a year that the five of us get together. So I love spending some time with them during the holidays. Fingers crossed, hopefully the weather it cooperates with us, and me and my brother-in-law can get out there and maybe play a little Christmas Eve golf. So that's what I'm hoping for. Beyond that, taking some PTO here for the holidays, and just gonna just hang out. So just excited to kind of have some rest here as we head into the new
Yeah.
year.
And
All
I
right,
think I think you were telling me off screen you're going to the Panther Seahawks game after Christmas.
yes, the Sunday game, 28th, 27th,
Yeah.
that Sunday, my first Panthers game this year. That's going to be an exciting one. They got to get the win here
It was
for
a tough
their
loss.
playoff hopes. But we'll see how they fare against the Buccaneers this week.
Yeah.
So
Well, we will actually be back by Sunday afternoon on the 21st, Tyler. So we actually do Christmas here, and my wife's family, her mom and younger brother are here. Sometimes her older brother comes down from near Columbus, Ohio, with his family, but I don't think they're coming this year. So we'll have her aunt and uncle, her mom, and her younger brother, and Drew and Luke and I and Kelly. We'll be here celebrating Christmas, and then I don't know what happens after that, but well
yeah.
deserved break and PTO. I'm glad you're getting to kind of relax and do nothing and just do your own thing for a little bit. Hopefully the weather's good for you in Maryland, and you guys can get a good round of golf in. So, but let's all right, let's get into it, man.
All right, let's hop into it. We're going through our holiday town hall here. I think we'll just start here at the beginning, walking through the opening that we normally go through. Always talking about our purpose, vision, mission, our core values, and welcoming some new folks to the river. Talking about promotions, leadership promotions. Charlie, from your perspective, why is this kind of an important kickoff for an intro to a town hall each time?
There's a magic to routines and something that you can kind of rely on and be predictable. And we only get together, 4 or 5 times, maybe at most 6 times company-wide on a town hall. I think it's 4 or 5 times. And we do an annual town hall to kind of end the year, and we call it our Holly Jolly town hall, and go through whatever updates. So I think, Tyler, we hit our annual kickoff at the end of January, beginning of February. We go through our second quarter, around April or May. Then we get into kind of one in August, one in October, third quarter, fourth quarter. And this is kind of our year end. And so, but since you have the entire company together, you got to kind of remind them and remind everyone, hey, why are we in business? Why do we do what we do? Is furnishing life's best memories? What's our vision? What's our North Star? Who do we want to become? It's to be the premier Ashley operator, to win the AFL every year, as we like to say, and then, what is our mission? And that is to be an excellent home furnishings company. And then how do we kind of like to behave? What are those core values or guiding principles, And so we go through those, and then we kind of, maybe we have people who are in our recruiting cycle or have accepted and are about to start or thinking about accepting, or even just friends and vendors. We'll invite third party folks to kind of have a backstage pass and to kind of feel and sense the culture. Like, hey, you want to know who we're about? We'll invite you to kind of, here's how we talk about the business and see what's going on. And so we'll welcome our VIPs or backstage pass folks, and then we'll welcome new hires, new leaders to the river. We can't go through like every new hire, unfortunately. That'll take it'd elongate the town hall, but like to welcome new folks to the river, and that's a good way to kind of get us started. Talk about kind of things we're grateful for sometimes, and share some of the wins. I think celebrate some of the wins would be kind of and give some of our people updates.
Yeah, well, first big surprise that we told the people about, or we introduced the people about this time around, was the Christmas bonus. How important is being able to, or how grateful are you and Manny to be able to do a Christmas bonus this year?
We do a Christmas bonus every year, or we have all but one year. And what sticks out to me is the one year that we didn't do it. And we were trying to make cost cutting during. We were a much smaller company. It was during the Great Recession, and it was like we thought we were trying to cut costs everywhere. We thought it might send the wrong message, and you know what? It just people fight so hard, work so hard all year, just to kind of be able to kind of if the company survives, it's still in business, to be able to kind of say, hey, thank you. And so if you've been with the company for a certain amount of time, we look at tenure, and then we look at title and contributions. And Mandy and I go through every single department, every single person, and we kind of set up a matrix and try to grow it every year as much as we can. It's really a wonderful blessing to be able to extend a Christmas bonus. And I'll tell you, people don't expect it, I guess, per se, because we get back some of the kindest messages, and once they start seeing it in their Paycom and their account, they start flooding us with gratitude. And I'm like, even if it's just a little something, that we can do that year, it always is received with a lot of gratitude, and it's just something I hope we can do every single year, quite honestly.
Well, I thank you for it. I'm super grateful for it. I've never had any Christmas or holiday sort of bonus in previous places that I worked. So my thanks to you and Manny for the spirit of abundance and being able to do this. And I'm super grateful for it. So thank you. All right.
Well, you're welcome.
Moving on from there, I think we're just going to jump around here on the agenda of the town hall. We'll bounce around. We'll go through different department updates. The first one after that I want to get to is talking about 272. And this has been our goal for the entire year. We've been talking about it the entire year. We've talked about it every single town hall. I'm sure you've talked about it here on the podcast a lot as well. Talk to me about your message here for driving revenue and our path to 272 this year.
So we're in week 51. We synced up this podcast episode to drop immediately following our town hall. So this is on Thursday, December 18th. And where we sit right now today, we see a clear line, clear path to eclipsing this annual budget goal. And I believe we're going to hit 273.5 million. And that's about 11% lift over last year. And so the ability for a company to set a goal and then to achieve that goal, like an annual goal, it is so meaningful. It's so powerful. It builds your confidence. It builds your ability to dream bigger and to be reliable, to have integrity in the word that you give. And so, that means a lot. And, Tyler, we're getting ready to officially launch our campaign, our 2030 campaign. And this was year one of that 6-year vision, that 6-year campaign. And it was just foundational. It was a must. And it was like we dug ourselves a big hole at the beginning of the year, as we've talked about. First 8 weeks we got into a hole over $3 million off pace through the first 2 months, and we've dug ourselves out of it and fought hard, and then kind of went a little bit like this. And so right now we got a clear line of sight to eclipsing that. So super, super, super proud of the team.
Can you talk a little bit about the importance of hitting the year one goal on that 6-year vision?
You know what? If we didn't hit year one, we'd have to recalibrate the vision. We almost become unreliable. Well, how do you think that you can hit something in 6 years when you couldn't even hit the first year, right? Mm-hmm. And so we're coming off 2 years where, after record banner growth in 2021 and 2022, again, I'll just kind of tell the story of 33% growth and then 22 or 23% growth in 2022. We kind of calmed down a little bit in 23 and 24 and tapered down a little bit into the kind of mid-single digit declines. We've never had 2 years back to back of mid-single digit declines. So that, cyclicality in our industry is a real thing. And, it was hard to kind of expect that we were always going to be at these super inflated peak levels from the pandemic. But, we have added new stores. And so we just really need to say, wait a second, guys, we are a growth company. Historically, we've grown double digits compounded annually for 15 years in a row. I know the numbers are bigger now, so hitting that double digit percentage is harder, but we've got to get it this very first year. And, the power of compounding is that first year is so important. So it just became foundational to us to kind of really get it done this year. And I think the stars aligned with what we kind of put forth out there for retail performance. They kind of locked in, and we threw everything but the kitchen sink at it. We had a lot of areas of focus, a lot of departments. I'm really proud of supply chain and operations and how they kind of really came through to kind of make sure that the speed to customer got expedited and accelerated and found ways to get more product out faster. So it's really important. And as you can see here, our Pioneer Prosperity profit sharing path, that's a $2,000 bonus for everyone on the base program. So I mean, we've got profit sharing bonuses that will hit in the second week of January, 7 figures of bonus payouts. And that's super, super exciting. It'll be the largest profit sharing bonus payouts that we've ever had in our company's history by an order of magnitude.
You just took my next question from me. I was going to ask, is this the biggest profit sharing payout you've ever had? So that's great news. A lot of people are going to be excited to learn about this on the town hall. And, once again, grateful for the opportunity and the spirit of abundance here at Broad River Retail. So moving on, let's go to retail wrap up. We introduced the $2 million man this year, Mike Cohen. You're probably going to see him here on Stories from the River in an upcoming episode. Any sort of words that you have here for just Mike Cohen and his performance this year on the sales floor?
Yeah, well, listen, we've been really blessed as a company to have a $2 million writer for the last several years. You had Jamar Ray, and you had Frank Gastelum, you had Leah Hayes, and what a pace setter will do for an organization, it allows everyone to kind of start dreaming bigger and to kind of borrow from that foundational belief. Like, well, if he can do it, let me call him. Let me learn from him. Let me chase him. Let me kind of go with him. And so you kind of need a pace setter in an organization. And Mike had a great year last year, and he just cranked it up a whole nother level. And so he is the pace setter this year, and he got it in like 11 months in a day. Like he got it like on the first day of our fiscal December. So to get $2 million in 11 months essentially is really, really outstanding. What an incredible year. Really great year for him and for the entire Carey Crushers team, led by Luke King. And you got a truly outstanding team out there. They got a team of rock stars. I love all those guys, and they're doing a great job. But Iron Mike Cohen, check out his episode coming up here on Stories from the River.
Yes, check that one out. You can hear Mike's story here coming up. So we also introduced $85 million memory makers. Believed to have 8 more on pace. That's going to end up with $93 million memory makers for the end of the year. Just talk a little bit about the importance of $1 million memory makers. Big tracker that we follow each week in kind of our newsletter, and it's a big part of our culture. I know you touched upon it in a recent episode. Just loving to see those people set those goals and meet their goals and meet the milestones. Give me a little essence on $1 million memory makers here.
Our business is really fueled by our top producers, our $1 million memory makers. And, they are, I think maybe a third of our total sales force, but they represent like half of our total sales. I mean, they cumulatively, they contribute a lot. And, we've been in the 90s for a few years now, and we haven't got to 100 just yet. It's tough, right? And the cool thing about it is we throw a lot of incentives and annual jackpot bonuses. I think we have a very lucrative commission program at retail sales, and I think we have great, weekly contests for the major tentpole drive times, and then monthly contests, which are really lucrative. And then we have these annual contests, so you can kind of get a big check. And we have 3 big jackpot bonuses, right? On $1 million memory maker sales, if you get 1 million, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, et cetera. At $2 million, Iron Mike's going to have a brand new car next year, or sleep jackpot sales, or VIP credit apps. But 85 is just, once you get very low turnover on your $1 million memory makers. You get some great reliability. You can build a company around them. They're dependable. They're kind of doing the best practices. But right now, a lot of those $1 million memory makers are fighting for expert status. So I like to say, it's 2 to 3 times more difficult to become an expert than a $1 million memory maker. So it's great to kind of be in the 90s, and they fight really hard for it. But there's something beyond that too, and that's that expert elite designation.
You love to see the pics of people crossing the $1 million mark. Big goal for a lot of people out there on the sales floor for them to reach and achieve. And those first time $1 million memory makers, they'll never forget it. So it's always great to see. You referenced earlier we were kind of been riding the waves for some months there for sales performance. You can see on the screen right now, record-setting Black Friday in November. A bunch of stats up there. Second largest Black Friday week ever. Second largest November ever. Highest sales per guest in company history. Highest month in cowbell ever. And our highest Black Friday week secret sauce ever. How impressed were you by the performance by our teams on Black Friday in November?
November's a tough month, right? Because there's a lot of hours worked. It's a 5-week Moneyball month, and people are chasing big budgets, big goals. And we this was coming down the final week of our 95-day challenge. And so the teams were really just kind of coming down the final stretch run and competing for weekly contests and competing for, kind of making sure we get to this 272. So there's a lot going on. And I think just anytime you kind of have a massive record week like this, you just kind of have to pause and celebrate it and recognize it, but the standard is really high, Tyler, because it's what we believe that we are capable of, and we want to make sure that we give our best effort. And so really proud, want to acknowledge it. But I think if you ask Coach Stacy, there's a lot of pride in some of the KPIs and the numbers, but he's also looking for the opportunities where we could have done, optimized it a little bit more. And we kind of have to balance that tension of celebrating the successes, but making sure that we also are not content and look for the opportunities where we can kind of improve upon it, because we got to get better each and every day, each and every year.
You referenced the 95-day challenge. If you're on YouTube, you can see some more stats from the top performers of the 95-day challenge that we had. Tell us a little bit about the 95-day challenge. I don't think we hit the mark just quite, but still a pretty successful push there that we had, right?
The 95-day challenge got off to, we kind of rode the wave after pioneering the path, 828 event and experience. And, the teams kind of shot out the gates really fast, and we crushed fiscal September. The budgets were no let up in October and November. So we kind of tapered down a little bit and then kind of had to right the ship a little bit in November. So we did come up a little bit short, but there were some outstanding individual performances that were just kind of all inspiring. You look at, Seth Logue and the Gas House, the Gastonia Game Changers, Sonia De La Cruz and the Hickory Strong, and Dave Morocco and what those guys are doing at the Wolf Pack. Some really truly outstanding performances. And ultimately, they've done enough. They've done enough to get us to the 272 path. So I think that's the main message here.
Awesome. All right. From the retail sales floor just to retail renovations in general. Opened up Easley, South Carolina, our store and outlet out there on November 21st. I know you touched upon it in a prior episode, talking about how quickly we got that store open, the Easy Express. What a fitting name for the team out there in Easley. We're a month in almost to the store being opened. What have we learned? What do we know about what's going on out there in Easley?
Wow. So you whenever you go into kind of a new market, a new store, it's a little bit of a risk. My former business partner, Jonathan Ishii, used to tell me how he used to lose sleep the night before store opening, fear that no one would show up, and you kind of take all the data points you can to kind of assuage those fears or kind of calm those fears and that anxiety and say, hey, we've put the hay's in the barn, right? We've done all that we can do. We believe it's the right location. We believe that the customers will show up, and they have. We want to make sure that kind of there's enough growth there to kind of support that plus the outlying stores. And so we've seen, this easily sits in between Greenville and Anderson, essentially in the upstate. And the upstate has really been growing and doing well. And we've had Easley in our sites for several years. And so one thing, the customers in Easley are showing up big time. And then the other thing, the team in Easley at the Express, I got to visit with many of them recently when I visited the store, and they're showing up well. You got some veterans, like Braun and John and Nakia and then and Madison, and then you've got some new hires, and it's they're kind of gelling together. And then what you kind of learn is, man, our team is really good about opening stores, from construction, remodel, and Tim sales and what those guys do on their end to kind of, get a box ready to be move-in ready. And there's a lot of logistics. Manny and Tim do an excellent job there and do it cost effectively and do it quickly with our partners in the GC and architectural space. And then Lynn Knowles, Janet Limeculer, and the entire showroom setup team, Karen O'Hare, Jeannie Slack, they just kind of converge onto a store and make it happen. So to be able to fast track Easley was super exciting. And really that's helping us towards our path to 272, because that's a little bit of extra land yap. And they crushed their budgets, for the first, 10 days in November.
Shout out to Easley, shout out to the Express out there, and glad to hear that they are off to a good start. From there, we moved on to Project Cascade. We talked about Spokane, Washington, our iconic 3-floor Ashley store that opening very soon. What are you most excited about to learn about Spokane, this new market, and finally have the store open?
We're nearly 2 years in the making here, from the initial conversations and beginning of kind of the exploration, nearly 2 years. So this has been a long journey, and it's so exciting to kind of finally be able to be here. There's a lot of work that got us to this point, a lot of back and forth, a lot of research, a lot of negotiations, a lot of construction. It's a 3-story building. I hope that all the work is such that it means that that's how much represents the payoff, right? I'm excited to see what they can do. I'm excited to see how the market and the community responds to this box when it's a little bit of a risk. And so it can go one of two ways. It can go the way you expect it. Well, I guess one of 3 ways. It can go the way you expect it conservatively. It can go worse than you expect it, or it can go a lot better than you expected. And I hope it's a lot better than we expect. And we've got conservative projections. We want to be kind of modest and pragmatic. And I just hope it kind of is just a blessing for our people, blessing for the community, and I hope it kind of inspires us to continue to dream bigger. There's a lot of challenges when you go 2,500 miles away and you got new people who haven't done store setups, and we can't take kind of the breadth of our store opening teams from the Carolinas and transport them. You got some, but not like the breadth of it. And so what you get is some warriors out there, and they got to solve problems, and they're kind of figuring out how to do that in real time to get this big box open. And we've never done something like this, and it's got its own challenges with how to receive product, how to go up and down, 3 stories. We've never done a 2-story store, much less a 3-story store, and much less 2,500 miles away. So that's a lot of new challenges. We've had a lot of planning for it, and I think everyone's really fired up, really locked in, really focused, super excited. And I just want to let's go. And corporate's been a great partner to us. I really need to say that, from Nick Les and Ashley Dillon, what we've worked with on them on kind of pricing and e-commerce, and then the logistics team, John Lighty, and the product coming from Redlands, California, and then the store development team, Sean Murphy and Frank Taylor and Kevin Thompson, and then the Ashley design team. We just had so much good support around us to help us get to this point.
Yeah, you can go earlier, watch earlier, listen earlier this week. Stacy McCormick took you behind the scenes of some of the opening out there in the store in Spokane. That was our Tuesday episode. I know I'm super excited about that. Working on some some behind the scenes things for content wise for Spokane that I'm hoping we can get across the finish line. So super excited about the opening of the store, and I love my time out there. Thought the area, the region was beautiful, and excited to spend a little bit more time out there when we cut the ribbon for this store. So really exciting time here for Spokane. All right, from there we moved on to Greenville, South Carolina. We just talked about its neighbor, Easley. I have to say, I think this is my favorite facade of all our stores. This brand new 7.0 revamp that we're getting close to celebrating the grand reopening out there. Tell me a little bit about Greenville and the importance of, updating the store, renovating the store.
Yeah, listen, and we need to show on screen. I'll send you I got a text message from Jeff Willis, the GM of the Dreamville Green Monster last night. And he said it's the first night with the lighted sign on the side of the building. You can see it past the stoplight and way past, other people's parking lots. So he's super excited. So listen, everyone kind of remembers. It's kind of funny, Tyler. Whenever you talk to someone who's been here for a while, they always kind of say, "Hey, I joined when we had this many stores. I joined, and I'm like, people think about that, and then I was like, wait a second, I did the same thing. I joined this company on May 1st, 2005, the very first day that we took over this store that we acquired in Greenville, South Carolina. So this was store number 3 for us. And so it's really special for me. It marks my first day. I never even made it to Charlotte. I made it to Greenville, South Carolina, and stayed in a hotel for first few days. So I think that was Sunday, May 1st, 2005. And so, listen, this store's gone through a couple of different iterations into the 6.0 method. And it's just, we really needed to kind of make sure this was going to be our long-term home. And once we solidified that, we're like, okay, now this store has kind of grown so much and it's done so well for us. Let's make it look really special inside and out. Let's improve the lighting, the flooring, the sleep shop. And so I'm really excited to hear your response to the facade. So just a kudos to just the entire team and the design team. But this is a really special flagship store for us, and they've got a strong dynamic team. So that's where Jamar works, Brian Johnson, and Jeff Willis and Chris Wright, home base for the Wild West region.
A part of this store will be this monster sleep shop, space for 50 mattresses. What's kind of the strategy behind creating a space for 50 mattresses? Is this going to be the largest sleep shop in our company?
Well, I remember when 50 was large. That was like yesterday. We just talked about Spokane. We should have referenced that Spokane has an entire floor, a third floor, dedicated to 84 mattresses. So that is the largest sleep shop. Where does the Dreamville Green Monster, they just changed their identity. They were the Dreamville Drive for many, many years. So where does the Dreamville Green Monster rank? It's got to be at the top, maybe number 2 or 3. I don't know if anyone has more than 49 other than Spokane. So maybe it's number 2, Tyler. Someone might correct me on that. I think Augusta's really large. I think Pineville's really large. Fayetteville's really large. But this is a big one. It's a big one. It's important. These guys do a great job with sleep.
We're bouncing around here. We're going back to Project Cascade. We're going out to Moscow, Idaho. I recently, as I mentioned, spent some time out there. I love the city of Moscow. I love the small community out there. Reminded me of my alma mater, Kent State, and just the way the campus is set up, the way the city's set up. Really enjoyed my time out there in Moscow. What are the expectations for you in Moscow, this Moscow Pullman area store?
We're taking a very conservative approach to our expectations and projections for 2026, Tyler. And, we know that we want to build out the market in the greater Spokane community. There's a lot of distance, I guess, between Spokane and Moscow. And, we have this kind of hub and spoke model that's worked well for us in the Southeast. And this is kind of like taking that playbook and, deploying it here in the inland Northwest. And so I hope that it does, like what some of our other small town stores have really done. You go back to Wilson, North Carolina. You go back to Greenwood, South Carolina. You go back to the fabulous Albemarle Aces. And, even Salisbury. I know Salisbury is a bigger location, but that's a little bit of a smaller town. And so you look at kind of where we've executed kind of the small town approach, and we've done it successfully. And even Pinehurst or Southern Pines, in an offshoot there. So I hope it does something like that. It's something that the community has not seen before, an Ashley store. And I hope it pulls, further south. I hope it pulls the Pullman market. Like if you're going to shop in that Moscow Pullman area or even the Lewiston Clarkston area, why not come here with Ashley? And so, Washington State and the University of Idaho Vandals right next to each other. I actually didn't know that till I went out there and visited. And we like the location. It's a great little shopping center, and right across the street from the Idaho Vandals, the University of Idaho. It's a beautiful campus, and I hope it does. I hope it punches above its weight class, Tyler.
Great media response. We sent out the press release recently there. We had a great coverage on this store. So from my end, I'm super excited about that. I do love the location for it. It is in a great area right in between those two universities. As you said, right across from the University of Idaho. Super excited to get to see the Kibbe Dome out there. We talked about college football. So one of a unique, places, football arenas in college football. Do you think with this being such a predominant college area that, maybe we might see a different approach to marketing or kind of a different customer segment that would visit the store?
We might have to talk to Kim about that. I'm sure
Yeah.
she and our media partners have some tricks up their sleeve. The good thing about it is we've been in college towns before, right? Like, Easley's close to Clemson, and so is, Anderson close to Clemson. We got several stores near the University of South Carolina. And of course, we're in the Research Triangle, all around, our Durham stores with Duke University or Raleigh stores with, Duke University, UNC, Chapel Hill, and, obviously the UNCC in Charlotte. So I don't want to leave out NC State. Someone will poke me if I leave out some of these schools. If I don't say every school. We've been around a lot of universities, Tyler, and we kind of get a mix. But I think our customer base, there'll be some for college students, and then there'll be some for the rest of the community members who live out there. I'm excited to bring Ashley Lutz into our different markets and see how they respond. But I love a vibrant community, and usually that means there's good employment and a good workforce and good labor force, and hopefully we can do well.
We got to shout out the University of South Carolina in Columbia and the Gamecocks as well. So I think we've covered all the colleges that are by our Ashley stores. All right,
Yeah.
last renovation report that we provided was Hickory, North Carolina. Big town hall for them. New identity that we introduced, Hickory Strong, and then also they announced the Ashley 7.0 update that'll be beginning at the beginning of next year. Can you give me a little bit of the lore, the backstory behind our store out there in Hickory, which is a town rich in furniture history?
Well, Tyler, I just learned something new. I didn't know they were getting a new logo, a new identity. So new information there. But there's a lot going on behind the scenes. I can't keep up with all of it, and I don't need to anymore. So they've earned that new identity, that new logo. It's the same name, but a new logo, a refreshed identity for the Hickory Strong. They got a great team out there. Hey, I love this facade. This facade is going to change the game. The inside is going to change the game. This store opened in 2010, if I'm not mistaken. And, it was the best looking store in that town, in my opinion. I'm biased, but I had other people tell me that when it opened. So, but times change. It's been 15, 16 years, Tyler. And so we know that this is going to be a long-term home for us. We're going to be here for we're planning to be here for quite a bit longer. We think it's a great location, highly visible. It's right off the highway, close proximity to the interstate, prominent location. And Hickory's a hotbed, has been for where you go to shop for furniture, but it's got, Hickory's growing. Everything's kind of growing outside of these, kind of spreading out from these major cities, and Charlotte being kind of a major city, everything kind of spreads out. And we've seen the growth in Gastonia. We've seen the growth kind of spreading now to Hickory, and good labor force, good workforce, vibrant community. And, we continue to do well there. And I'm excited to bring the 7.0 Ashley store. I wish I could snap my fingers and all of our stores be 7.0 stores, especially to not have to go through the disruption or the cost. But we think the cost and the disruption are well worth it. And I know that they're very much looking forward to it. So we continue our march on 7.0 updates.
All right, from our renovations report back up to our people department updates. I think one of the more exciting updates that we'll be announcing for everybody is the company match increasing on our 401k to 4%. That's from 3%, 33% increase starting next year. Charlie, where did this decision come from?
I love the topic of financial planning. I love the idea of our people setting financial goals and being goal oriented, and then what their financial goals can do for them. And so, as the company has continued to do well and do better, we've got the latitude to make some decisions and look for ways to, quite honestly, share the prosperity or give back to our memory makers in creative ways. And this is one of them, right? We hadn't touched the 401k match in quite a few years. And so this was a threshold. If we get to this level, certain things get unlocked. And some of our folks who do save a lot, they have complained like by getting some of the money kicked back because not enough people participated. And we really wanted to try to give a proper incentive for more people to enroll and to participate in it. And so we're upping the ante. And this is going to cost the company money, a lot of money every year. But, it's something that, the power of compounding, which I've talked a lot about, what you want to do for passive investing is just, save as much as you can earlier, or, every pay period if you can, or every year, and let that just kind of grow behind the scenes and let that be a nest egg for you down the road after you've kind of put in your time or your effort. And so this will be a dollar for dollar match for the 4%. And it used to be 3%. And so 4% gets us over some cliffs that we need to get over so that, we don't have to have any risk of money coming back. So it does that for us. And also it gives a proper incentive for people to kind of put more in. Like, it costs them nothing. If you put your 4% in, we're going to match it dollar for dollar. And why would you not do that? To help your retirement savings grow behind the scenes. So I'm really excited about this one.
Me too. Selfishly, I'm super pumped about it. And, if you're a memory maker watching, you're not investing in your 401k, I encourage you to do so. Please look into that. All right. Yeah. From there, moving on to the Lighthouse Fund update. You can see some stats here on the screen right now. $58,000 distributed to support memory makers in crisis, and 44 memory makers have received some financial help. And then after open enrollment that we just recently had within the company, 141 memory makers are enrolled, which is a 16% participation. And we're estimated to generate $33,000 a year for the fund. Charlie, these might be the first time you're seeing these stats. What are your thoughts? You got to be super excited about this, right?
Man, that's really special. Well, first of all, our heart breaks for anyone when they're going through a crisis, and we really we believe in systems and processes, and we really needed to figure out a way to systematize care and compassion. We do some of those things like through our Corporate Chaplains of America program, that we support and fund so that we can have chaplains in all of our locations, available and making visits. And then this was another one, like, hey, when crisis hits and you're not expecting it, and it doesn't matter if you're a blue collar worker or white collar worker, where you are on the totem pole of hierarchy in the organization, crisis can hit anyone. You're one phone call away. And to be able to systematize, that, and like, I had zero expectation that we'd have, 140 people of but our memory makers are so special. To have nearly 20% of our people giving and contributing, either ongoing or have contributed to this thing is really, really special, Tyler. And, we'll continue to do more here in this endeavor. We've got just really caring people. We have a community that looks out for each other and whatever you're going through. And our job is to do what we can to help protect and care for our people and help them feel safe. and give them meaningful work and well compensated work. And that's what we try to do each and every day. And our people love on each other and care for each other. That's really what it tells me.
Yeah, 60% participation, 141 memory makers enrolled is really incredible to see. And, we hope to see that number continue to climb. But as you said, we do have a super giving community here at Broad River Retail. From the Lighthouse Fund, we also introduced our annual Memory Maker Awards Gala that's happening coming up here next month at the Revelry in Camp North End in Charlotte. Charlie, this is probably one of your favorite nights of the year, right?
Yeah. And the good thing is I don't have to do a whole lot for it.
Yeah.
I'll give some opening remarks and take a lot of pictures with folks, but otherwise I get to enjoy the night. And it's going to be the largest gala we've ever done. We've got a lot of plus ones attending this year. We've not done that before. I think the invite list is over 425 or so folks. We've got 4 key sponsors. Synchrony Financial will be our key sponsor, they're a cornerstone partner for us for this event. And we've got Riverstone Logistics that help support it, and Temper Sealy and Ashley Furniture. So we're excited about that and excited about celebrating with our people. It's a good way to kind of say, hey, let's just kind of look back, and as we kind of put close the chapter on pioneering and the year of to pioneer in 2025 and the achievements that we've had, it's that time to kind of just say thank you. Tyler, it's been a special year, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
It has been a special year. I love to see the awards given away there. Last year was my first time at the gala, and I'm excited to be back again this year. From there, let's move on to kind of your closing remarks here, in the way that you're going to end the town hall. What's your overall message for the company? This is our final town hall of the year. I think, Charlie, is it safe to say kind of 2025 has kind of been a huge, impactful, kind of almost a banner year for Broad River Retail, right?
No doubt about it, Tyler. I mean, to have kind of 2 kind of sluggish years and kind of set a goal and say, hey, this is what we need to achieve to go out to achieve it. And then we've had so many different projects, right? We talked about Project Cascade, going 2,500 miles away. We've had an intense focus on Project Nucleus and the GM role and hiring and recruiting, and then the pioneering the path, and then the 95-day challenge. Project Uno and Podium. Retail just launched Podium, a whole new way to kind of continue the conversation with our guests through a customer relationship platform. We've had Project Omni Connect, which was just a transformational project in completion earlier this past April. We introduced new stores that we hadn't contemplated. With Easley, we brought it in. Now we're going to open up Spokane, and we got just taking on a lot. And then while all these things are kind of happening, these special projects, we're keeping the main thing, and getting back to the basics, and just really doing a great job on the fundamentals. And so everyone it feels like a year where everyone kind of linked arms and just said, let's go chase this down together, front end, back end, and every other supporting department. And everyone has really been locked in. So I'm just so grateful for the team. I think they've done just an outstanding job in every department. Everyone's had milestones and accolades that they can look back on and be really, really proud of having achieved. And then we've been able to do more with that. We've been able to find more ways to kind of give back through the Lighthouse Fund and that initiative, through this Pioneer Prosperity Profit Sharing Program and the largest payouts we've ever had, through these jackpot bonuses that we've had. And so, through this whole 95-day challenge and the initiatives that we had there. So it's been super fun, Tyler, and I'm really, really grateful for it. And I think it's going to mean a lot for us for the next 5 years, kind of where we go and build from here.
From the CEO perspective, has this year opened your eyes to anything, maybe change your perspective just about what the company is capable of and all our people are capable of?
Well, I come with high expectations of our people, Tyler. I've been doing this for quite a bit, over 2 decades, and I know how special our leaders are. And I would probably tell you I'm a little bit less surprised probably than most, but I think what I see is kind of our people's eyes lighting up over the achievements that, like, when you see like a massive initiative like Spokane coming together. And I think people are starting to kind of see like, oh, what this could mean, what this could be. And, it's really fulfilled the kind of belief that I had about what we are capable of as an organization. And so, yeah, it's broadening my aperture to continue to like lean into that. Like we like to say, we will grow as far as our people will take us or not. And as I see our people kind of growing into themselves, growing into their leadership, raising their hands to take on more, to do more, to knock down projects, to tackle them, to complete them, and to do it really with grace, with just like crushing it. And like if get one or two things kind of don't go well, to kind of pivot and figure out how to kind of solve for those. You start to kind of gain a level of confidence like, okay, I got to keep growing myself, pushing myself, and then kind of figuring out where to delegate and what to entrust with others, because they will respond. But I have to say, I have high expectations about our people because I've seen what they can do. I know them at their heart and their core. I believe we're going to achieve the 2030 vision, Tyler, but it's great to see it come into fruition and to see people light up and going after it.
Wonderful. That's awesome. All right. We ended it with one more thing. Charlie, I'm going to hand it back over to you. Give a little teaser to the folks listening or watching here.
Well, listen, we did a reveal internally. We're going to make the folks kind of wait and come back to a future episode where we'll do kind of the one more thing. But we always kind of like to have a nice surprise if we can. And so maybe your previous question was a good segue to the one more thing. And then Tyler, I do need to say that we've got kind of these great little, my wife surprised me. She said, this gift is 1 year in the making. And I sent pictures of it to Kim, but you got the elf photos from the Holly Jolly Town Hall, one of me, one of Manny. And I'm giving this to him. So we're recording this on Wednesday, December 17th. I'll be giving this to him later. Maybe he can put this up on the town hall. I know he loves it, the way his elf ears look in that photo. And maybe we can put that on the screen. So these are some ornaments here that I was just given last night. My wife said these are 1 year in the making because she got the pictures last year. So there you go. So Tyler, hey, thanks for kind of being willing to kind of sit here with me and go through our Holly Jolly Town Hall. You do a great job helping us kind of get the slides together, get organized with the platform, whether we're running it on Zoom or Microsoft Teams, and corralling several hundred people on a town hall. I know it's a high pressure event, and you do it with ease and expertise and calmness, and you get it done and make it look easy. So testament to you and to the whole comms team. Hey, you guys have hit some records. You guys are, I had someone the other day, Tyler, tell me, hey, I just saw a video of you talking about, bamboo on LinkedIn, and what you guys are doing with shorts and reels. I said to him, I said, the funny thing is, I don't, have anything to do with the shorts, but we record these episodes and like they're on YouTube, they're on Apple, they're on Spotify. But I think few people go and watch the full episode. Some do, but I think a lot of people get those curated segments that you and Aaron or Julia, whoever pulls out the 30-second clips that you all post on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube Shorts or LinkedIn, and that's what people watch sometimes. So thank you for that. You guys you're growing our comms. You're doing a great job. I know you got a really exciting vision for where you're going to take the podcast for 2026. So get some rest and rest up and get ready to come back at it in the new year. New year, we're back to 0-0. Got to start it over all over again.
I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, I'll give a little shout out to Aaron and Julia on my comms team. They've been a delight to have, and I'm so grateful that they've joined me to be a part of the team. Big banner year for us on social. We just passed 20,000 followers on LinkedIn, which I'm pumped about, and I think we're going to pass 1 million impressions on LinkedIn between our two pages. So it's been a great year for us on comms, and I'm glad to hear that. It sounds like it appears that I'm very calm during these town halls, but man, the anxiety is high behind the scenes.
Your team has tripled in the past year, and I think you're planning to grow it again in 2026. And I was on LinkedIn the other day. I saw a post from Broad River Retail, and I saw the 20,000 followers. I kind of noticed that. So great job. People are watching and paying attention. Hey, this show is our gift back to the industry, to the community, to our followers. So thank you for listening and for watching. Tyler, thanks for hosting and navigating another successful town hall, something that the river has become known for. So why don't you send us off here, Tyler?
Absolutely. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. To all our audio folks, thank you. Make sure you're following the channel, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for listening to Stories from the River. To check out more episodes, visit storiesfromtheriver.com. To watch this episode, go to youtube.com/@storiesfromtheriver. Join us again next week, and remember to like, rate, and subscribe to the podcast.